Before the video starts, check out the official Discord with the links in the description down below or on the screen right here for mobile users. We are a fast growing community, and if you want to join and speak to new people about the anime that we all love, or speak to me personally and get custom perks, check out the Major Dragon Discord and join our growing community within the Dragon Force. Now let's get on with the video. After a long and hard journey, the reincarnated as a slime what if is now happening. For those of you who have been around on the channel, I know we have seen this what if idea on the poll multiple times for months and months. It's always reached second place or lower. It was so close every single time, but finally it is here. I should make a whole movie about this. It's very special. Now, I have never personally seen the anime the time I was reincarnated into a slime. But after doing research on the Great Sage ability and the sub abilities that come with it, I'm going to be able to mix some Dragon Ball with it and make it fun and give it to our man, the main man himself, Goku. So Goku will be having these abilities slash powers and have some lore behind it. So if you guys do like this style of content, let me know what you guys think down below about the fact that the what if idea actually won, and make sure to watch the video all the way through. I know I just said it, check me out on the Discord as well. Make sure to join. We're trying to get up to 500 members. Make sure to like the video as well. And let's get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Come on, I know we can do it. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Now let's get right on into the video. Bardock was still overwhelmed by the likes of Dodoria and the others. Now, Bardock is the father of Son Goku. Bardock here has had visions of his son one day defeating Frieza after they took over a planet. He knew that Frieza was going to destroy planet Vegeta. Something big was happening. He would still send Goku off towards Earth to where he would finally have a final stand against Frieza, and Bardock would perish alongside with all the Saiyans, leaving Goku as one of the only Saiyans left alive. There's only a handful left in the universe. While Goku was traveling, something interesting happens. As Goku was a small infant, he would reach out as a small ball of light would go into the space pod. It was peaceful. And then it would fuse with Goku. And Goku would then fall asleep as he head towards Earth. Now, what is this ball of light? What was it? Well, we know that reincarnated as a slime, it's an ability that was given to the person when they were reincarnated. But I decided to spice it up a little bit for the Dragon Ball lore, if that's okay with you guys, to mix them together, as this is a mixing of two animes. This power, called the Great Sage, was created by Zeno. When Zeno was creating the original 18 universes, he created this power. Now he gave it to the Grand Priest and to the angels, the Grand Priest's children. This power was also gifted upon the gods of destruction, the original 18, as an experiment. But unfortunately, some of the gods of destruction, they got too thirsty for power. The power corrupted them, and after a big war between these dangerous gods of destruction, Zeno also destroyed a handful of the universes. 6 universes were destroyed, leaving 12 left. Those 6 gods of destruction were killed, alongside with the angels who had to be removed as well through Zeno's rule. Zeno then stripped the power away from all the original gods of destruction of the 12 universes. They have no more access to this power, and Zeno sealed the power away. This power would search for somebody or something to fuse with. Now, this power was not meant to be for evil. It was meant to fuse into neutral / pure good beings, but if put into the wrong hands, it can turn corrupt and it can destroy everything. This power has been locked away since the beginning of time, that Zeno has created all the universes and sealed it away, but it has been able to leak its way out. And now that it is now free, it now searches for the perfect being to fuse with, a being of pure innocence, a true warrior, and it finds a mortal. It's going the other direction, not towards gods, but towards a mortal, and it fuses with the infant Son Goku. Now, Son Goku would still land on Earth, where he'd be picked up by Grandpa Gohan. The same events would still happen. Goku would still hit his head, thus having his goofy nature. Now, Goku was able to recover and survive the attack. Now, What else would change here? Well, as Grandpa Gohan noticed, that when Goku does get a bit older during this time, what does this ability do to Goku? Because wouldn't Goku be acting differently? Well, Grandpa Gohan would notice how Goku can think much faster than others, as that is one of the sub-abilities called Thought Acceleration. Now, this power will kind of help Goku throughout his journey, and Goku will learn how to understand it and how he can utilize it. Now, the Great Stage, again, will push Goku to new limits in this story. So, these abilities will help Goku as he also grows older, his power rises, he will be able to learn and figure out how to use these new abilities. The first one was the Thought Acceleration, as it increases a user's thoughts and makes them faster by thousands to millions of times. This means that Goku became so good with this skill, he can see what a person's going to do before they do it, as he can predict their movements perfectly. And he tried this against Grandpa Gohan. Now, when Goku originally turned into a Great Ape, I feel like he would still lose control. Yes, I know his thoughts acceleration is higher. Yes, he can think much faster on his feet, but it's still a Great Ape and he would still lose control. Goku would sadly kill Grandpa Gohan, but he has no memory of what really happened. Now, life will still continue on for Goku. He's still continuing to train, as Goku doesn't really change too much in the story. The only difference is that he can think much better, and he can think and move much faster because the signals of his brain is moving much faster than normal. So Goku may not have the best intelligence, but he can think much better, if that makes sense. He may be very smart with his thought acceleration, but he doesn't have good experience. It's like being very gifted and you can think really fast, but you've never studied before on something. That's pretty much how Goku's is right now. Now, Goku would still meet Bulma and never meet a girl before. It was to be a goofy scene, but he decides to help her along her journey to go find these Dragon Balls. Now, Bulma here, they would still meet Master Roshi just like the original. Master Roshi would notice that the boy has incredible potential. He can sense something different with the boy. His energy feels different. It's unlike anything he's ever felt before. He can sense that the boy does have energy, but it's almost unsensible to a degree. It feels like a pressure more than anything else, but he kind of lets it go. But now, of course, he would still offer Goku to train him when the time comes. After, he would still gift Goku Nimbus, which Goku can hop on no problem. But now, this is when they also help the turtle. That's how he was given Nimbus. Now, Goku would have defeated the Reign of Terrible Oolong, and the old woman would give Bulma and him the 6-star Dragon Ball. That's when also Goku would meet Yamcha and Puar for the first time. And originally, Master Roshi uses the Kamehameha Wave to put out the flames on the Frying Pan Mountain. Now, although he destroyed the mountain along with the castle as well, among the debris, the 7-star Dragon Ball was found. Now, would the story really change since Goku does have these abilities? Well, you could maybe think that Goku could think faster. Maybe he tells Roshi to maybe fire near the castle. Maybe the wind will blow it away. Potentially, but the castle was completely engulfed in flames. But this is when we would see Goku learn from Roshi. When Roshi fires that Kamehameha beam, originally Goku saw it for the first time. Then Roshi used it again when he destroyed the castle. This would not happen. Goku, after seeing it for the first time, would almost instantly be able to use it. He would then look at his hands, and he has perfect, absolute perfect knowing of the Kamehameha ability and what else he can do with this ability as well. So, Goku would then put his hands together and he would do something that Roshi would not think is possible. It's so advanced that Goku would use the force of the Kamehameha to make such a powerful gust of wind that it would blow out the flames on the mountain. Roshi was completely flabbergasted, about to fall over. He's never seen someone use an ability like that. Especially, it took him 50 years and Goku advanced it, almost evolved it, as it was a force of energy. And Goku has a lot of understanding of the Kamehameha Wave, as he had a basic understanding of it, but now anything that he learns that is basic, he now knows everything about it, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. So, even knowing about the Dragon Balls, which we'll get into that in a minute, is OP as well. Now, Goku, after seeing the Dragon Balls as well, Goku needs to collect all 7 before we really get into it. But now Goku would of course defeat Boss Rabbit and his gang, sending them to the moon. Mai and Shu would of course take the Dragon Balls from Goku and them. Pilaf would then summon Shenron, and Oolong wishes for girls' underwear. That's also when Goku would transform into a Great Ape, which I don't think Goku will be able to master the Great Ape power because he doesn't have a basic understanding of it. He doesn't remember anything when he transforms into it. Now this is when Krillin and Goku become Master Roshi students after fighting Launch, and for the next 7 months they begin their training. Goku would very quickly surpass Roshi and even Krillin. The reason why is because of his natural adaptability, his thought acceleration, and there is also another ability that the Great Sage does have, but we can really throw it to the side, and it's called a chant ability, and it's not really needed since in Dragon Ball Z you don't need to speak the move to actually use it, as it was actually shown that Goku did use the ability a few times, such as he would fire a Kamehameha and not say the word Kamehameha. So that kind of ability can kind of be thrown to the side, unless if you guys want to post in the comments what that could be used for, then let me know, but that'll be a later on ability added. But now, one of the biggest things though is how strong would Goku be? Well, since Goku again has already learned everything, he has analysis. This means that Goku, as soon as he sees somebody use an ability, he has full mastery over it. Anything that Roshi teaches Goku, he can master. And this also ties into training, such as the weight training and more. Goku's body and his Saiyan biology is adapting with him mastering this power. They're bouncing off one another, which is insanely OP if you really think about it. Goku is pushing the weight of the turtle shell to where it doesn't even bother him anymore, and Roshi ran out of weight to give Goku. He's lifting way more than he ever did in the Dragon Ball and early Dragon Ball Z. So how strong is Goku? Well, Goku by this point, his power level would easily be in the thousands because he's getting stronger and stronger. Now, Goku of course would still go up for the World Martial Arts Tournament where he originally fought Master Roshi. Master Roshi would still fight Goku, and would Goku transform into a Great Ape? Realistically, yes. And unfortunately for Roshi, he would not be able to blast Goku away. He would have to destroy the moon. That is the only way. And that's what he would have done. He would have destroyed the moon before Goku would kill everybody while he was transforming, and Goku would then revert back. And Goku would then have his tail removed, but that's later on, as the moon's gone now. There's no need for him to turn. But now, of course, Goku here would have analyzed Roshi, and he knows all of his abilities. With thought acceleration, he would just outthink Roshi and move faster than Roshi can even perceive it. Think about this, even Whis stated himself that the brain can only send signals so fast to the body to make it move. That is why Ultra Instinct is such an OP ability, because you don't need to think to move, your body just moves on its own. Every muscle moves on its own, which is instantaneous movement. Goku with this thought acceleration pretty much has the Ultra Instinct ability. If you think about it, yes, he needs to think about moving, but his thinking is millions of times faster than what a human can think. So it's technically like a mortal version of Ultra Instinct on top of knowing your opponent's every move. So Roshi couldn't even hit Goku. He couldn't outsmart Goku. He couldn't outmaneuver Goku. He couldn't touch Goku. Goku was just too fast. And Goku would have outmaneuvered Roshi and knocked him out of the ring and defeated him. And now, of course, there would have been peace, as we would have then had the Red Ribbon Army saga happen. Unfortunately for them, Goku is insanely OP. The Red Ribbon Army has absolute zero chance. Now, one thing too, would Goku basically learn from the Red Ribbon Army and he can make technology for his own? Realistically, maybe, but this ability only really works on biological things. So realistically, it wouldn't have worked. But with the help of Bulma, Goku would have absolutely annihilated the Red Ribbon Army just by pure strength alone. Even if Goku went after the Red Ribbon Army by himself, if his power level is 1,000 or higher, they have no chance. Goku would have obliterated them before they could do anything. Now, also as well, for Goku and the Red Ribbon Army, This also means, of course, the Dragon Balls were then wasted again, and originally Mercenary Tao would attack Goku after killing General Blue. That would not happen. Goku would have defeated Mercenary Tao and General Blue with ease, and he would have still met Korin as well because of Yajirobe. Goku would then climb up the tower and meet him. Now, once when Goku gets a basic understanding of the sensu beans, he immediately knows everything about them. He knows how to grow them as well. And he asked Korin about it, and Korin explains the basics of growing it, and now he knows how to do it. Goku can realistically grow his own sensu beans if he really wants to. But as we know, it takes a long time for sensu beans to grow, but now Goku actually knows how to do it, so he can grow his own sensu beans. Maybe with the help of Korin and maybe even Shenron, maybe he can grow them even faster. But Goku would also learn the basics of the sacred water, and he knows everything about it. So he knows that what Korin is giving him is actually just normal tap water. It's not actual sacred water. So Goku would actually go to the location because he knows about it and take the water. As Goku would of course survive because of his pure heart, he would then grow much stronger. I would say getting an extra 200 to maybe 500 of his power level, being 1,500, rivaling Raditz in terms of power. As we know, at a power level of this high, Red Ribbon Army was completely obliterated, leaving nothing behind. Now, of course, Goku learning basic things about the Red Ribbon Army, this means that he would have all the knowledge of the Red Ribbon Army. Everything. He knows every person, even one by the name of Dr. Gero. With Dr. Gero, he would, with the help of Bulma, figure out who he is and what his early projects are with creating androids. Goku knows that Dr. Gero is very dangerous, so Goku would have made sure that Dr. Gero was killed and defeated. This would of course change the later arcs that we'll dive into. Now the Red Ribbon Army is still active, but they're kept way hidden underground. As Goku of course did defeat the main people, we know the Red Ribbon Army was not completely destroyed. They kept some things dead hidden, and Dr. Gero's secret files were actually never found, as Bulma could not find them. Somebody has taken them away secretly, and Goku does not know who this person is. Maybe it was another scientist, but we don't know. But Dr. Gero's work is still out there, but they said not to worry, because true, they might have some of his work, they would not be able to recreate the androids. Goku's too powerful. Now, this is also when during the movie for the next 3 years, when Goku would originally train to run around the world, where he would also fight Plague and Terror. He would meet Master Chin and fight the Sky Dragon. He would also enter the Demon World for the first time and fight Shula, and he would then fight Tien Shenhan for the first time and meet him, but that's more of the movie set. As now the main story is when Goku would swim to Papa Island, where the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament will take place. And this is where we would see Goku's abilities really shine. With some of them, he still has to unlock more as he gets older in age. As he gets stronger, Goku, after fighting Tien has no chance against Goku with the power level difference on top of the thought process and speed. Even Tien Shenhan's Dodon Ray, Goku would instantly recognize it, and he'd be able to recreate the move even better than Tien would. And when he sees Tien flying for the first time, Goku would actually float in the air, and he would laugh as he starts flying around. And Tien Shenhan is furious, asking Goku how can he learn these abilities so fast. And Goku explains, I don't know, it's almost like a voice helps me. And it's the power and the force that is inside Goku, this feeling that automatically helps him. Of course, this is the Great Sage helping Goku become stronger. And Goku is instantly able to learn how to fly, and he's a master at it, flying at speeds even faster than he should normally go. This also means that Goku would win the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament. Tien Shenhan would lose, being in second place. This is when Krillin would actually be killed by Tambourine, and Demon King Piccolo would then appear. Now, unfortunately though for Krillin, would Goku be able to help Krillin? Realistically, no, as he can't really do anything about it. But when he does meet Tambourine, he would overwhelm Tambourine and kill him easily. Goku knows that he needs the Dragon Balls. He knows that the Dragon Balls can wish Krillin back one time, and there's only one wish needed. And he also knows, after studying them, that the Dragon Balls are connected to a Namekian, which are a race that are across the other side of the galaxy, who have magical abilities to create the Dragon Balls. And some of these Namekians are great descendants of the being who created the Super Dragon Balls. and no one knows who this being is. He's super, super secretive. That's how far Goku can go through the thought process of seeing who it is. But now, he knows that there are multiple Dragon Balls throughout this universe, and he knows that there's more than one universe because it expands further than that. But that's all he knows. As when he looks at Demon King Piccolo, this is when a new ability would be unlocked. Goku's rage has pushed him, and he learns the analytical appraisal. It's an ability to be able to see a user's power, race, and abilities just by looking at him. When Goku looks at Demon King Piccolo and he focuses this ability, it's almost like your own personal scouter that can tell you everything about the person and how strong they actually are. And he sees that Demon King Piccolo is very powerful, much powerful than any other person he's seen, but he's very old for a Namekian and he's not as strong. He can also notice that he's not complete. It's like his soul is in half. He then puts the 2 and 2 together as the Dragon Balls are connected to Kami, and he can see that his soul is connected to the Dragon Balls. That makes sense. They're two different beings. Kami and this Demon King Piccolo must have been the same person, but they separated. The evil separated them. So this means he now knows that if Demon King Piccolo dies, the Dragon Balls can also die as well, and that means if Kami's not around, the Dragon Balls will turn to stone, so he can't save Krillin. His best way is to maybe beat him and then seal him away. So Goku would easily overwhelm Demon King Piccolo. This is when Goku would see him do something that he instantly recognizes because of his ability. He's spitting out a reincarnation. So this is when he sees him spit out an egg and he sees where it goes. He knows that now Demon King Piccolo can die. So Goku would fly right through him, killing him. Goku would then track where the egg is after sensing its life force, and he would then take it flying up to Kami's lookout, and Piccolo would still be born. Now, Piccolo originally hated Goku. Now Goku, for the next 3 years, would stay on Kami's lookout with Piccolo Jr. With Piccolo, as a young child, he hated Goku, but that anger was subsided because of Goku's kind nature that rubbed off on Piccolo. As they basically grew up together in a fast way, because Piccolo within 3 to 4 years became a grown man. The Namekians age really quick. Goku would also be a young man as well, and Piccolo is not out to kill Goku. They've already settled that issue. And Piccolo is actually kind of a good guy. He doesn't have the evil intentions that was festering for all those years to go kill Goku. As with the help of Goku and Kami, Piccolo's not as evil at the start as we may think. Yes, he is a bit of a jerk. He's not the nicest guy in the world because he's still the reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo, but he's not pure evil. He would not kill somebody to kill somebody, and he actually really respects Goku as a warrior, so he's not going to kill him. Now, we would then have the scenes where Goku would still arrive all the way back to the World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, of course, within this tournament, Goku would still meet Chi-Chi. Now, if you guys do remember, I know some people do not like Chi-Chi as well at all, and would it make sense for Goku actually to get with Chi-Chi? Well, at the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, I think that it definitely would, because Goku still met Chi-Chi, and he didn't really know what marriage was at all when Chi-Chi really talked about it. So yes, I still think Goku would get with Chi-Chi. Sorry, fans. Gotta make you unhappy sometimes. And it makes sense. They're a good couple. Goku would still get with Chi-Chi, and they would fall in love and get married. They would have their son Gohan. Now, no, Gohan would not have the great sage power or the ability to be passed down or anything like that. His potential is roughly the same. Gohan is already an insanely OP character already, but we'll actually get into Gohan's power down the line. As Goku would learn more about Gohan's power, he will be able to help him. But now, 5 years of peace have now passed. And one thing to note as well, when Roshi originally told Goku about the space pod when he met with Raditz, we'll touch on that in a moment, would Goku really know about the Saiyans? No, this is until Raditz would tell Goku about it. That's when Goku will be able to learn it. So when Goku does arrive with Gohan, he would not need Nimbus as he would fly with, or maybe he takes Nimbus for fun for Gohan. They would arrive to Master Roshi's home, reuniting with all of his friends. This is when Raditz would still appear, searching for his brother. Raditz knows that if he fails, he's a dead man because maybe Vegeta and Nappa will kill him, as he cannot fail them. As now, when Goku does meet Raditz, he has no clue who he is. Now, Goku doesn't have his tail at this time because Kami did remove it when he restored the moon, as he knew that Goku would turn into a giant rage monster and destroy everything. Now, Piccolo was actually already there, as he would actually meet up with Goku and reunite with all the friends. Piccolo's cool, he kind of hangs off on his own, but it was cool for him to see Goku again after so long. And he notices that Raditz has now arrived. Raditz would explain who he is and what the Saiyans are. Once when he finishes, Goku's eyes kind of flicker a color. Raditz was a bit confused, and Goku now fully understands everything about the Saiyans. And more. He understands what happened to him. It's almost like a rush of information hit his head. He immediately knows all about the Saiyans, where they came from, even where the planet originally was. But it's not there anymore, it's destroyed, so Raditz is telling the truth. He knows about Raditz, he knows about all the Saiyans that were ever alive. He knows about Vegeta and Nappa. He knows about Raditz. He knows about his father, and Goku would then hold his head as Raditz was confused. Goku was seeing something. This great sage was showing him something. He would then see his father Bardock with his team. Then it would cut forward to Bardock having visions and flashes, seeing Bardock with his dead team, and almost Bardock telling Kakarot to beat Frieza. And Bardock would say that Frieza did it. And then he would see Bardock clashing with Frieza's supernova before it was overtaken and Bardock was killed alongside the planet and his mother. Goku would then snap out of it, gasping. As Raditz was shocked to see what's happening with his brother, he says, "Have you lost your mind?" And Goku says, "I understand what happened now. It wasn't a meteor that destroyed the planet. It was Frieza. Our father died clashing with Frieza." Now Raditz couldn't believe it. He honestly just couldn't, because Vegeta never told him. Vegeta said that it was a meteor that actually destroyed it. So he thinks that his brother just made all this up to lie. But he explains that you failed your mission on Earth and you're going to be destroyed. Goku would actually try and talk peace with Raditz. He would explain that we don't have to fight, we don't have to have any issues. We can team up, and if you can help me, we can get trained and get stronger. I might be able to fight Frieza if we all learn together. Raditz, of course, was not hearing this, because he senses his brother's power level with his scouter and sees his power level is only 800, which is way too low. Vegeta's way stronger than them. So him and Goku would have no choice but to fight. Now, with fighting, Raditz has no chance against Goku. Goku's power level is around 2,000 or so. As it was a pretty tough fight, we're not going to say that Raditz did not get his licks in and did really well, but Goku was far too powerful. He also has his hacks of Sage abilities. Raditz cannot match him in power. And Raditz did also explain about the Great Ape ability, which Goku now knows everything about it, but he can't access it because he doesn't have a tail. Goku would then tell Raditz to leave and to never return, and Raditz was badly wounded, so Raditz didn't have a choice. Raditz would flee. As Raditz would then arrive and heal up, he would then meet up with Nappa and Vegeta and explain what would happen, and explain that he couldn't even touch his brother. He was so fast and so powerful. He doesn't understand his brother's special, and Vegeta and Nappa are actually a little interested, so they would go check it out. As this, maybe they could get him to join themselves. But Vegeta had a promise. He would then kill Raditz, throwing him in the air and killing him. Sorry, fans. And Raditz is now destroyed. Vegeta and Nappa would then head to Earth themselves, as now they have about 1 year. Now Goku can feel that they're heading towards him, because remember, he knows information. And Raditz would even threaten this as well. So Goku now knows. They would then meet up with Kami, and Kami would explain that there is a teacher who can help Goku. He would then send Goku to meet King Yama, and yes, I know Goku is alive, but King Yama would allow it because he does not want 8 billion pages to do, as he shudders thinking about it. Goku would then fly to King Kai's place, being much stronger, and the fact he can fly, he skips over a lot of turns and loops that increases length of travel by 2-3 times. He gets there much faster. It only takes Goku maybe a week or less to get there. Once when he does arrive, he would then begin his training under King Kai. Now the gravity would hit Goku like a truck. Goku would crash down on the ground, and he would struggle for a few seconds, but once when he takes his clothing off and gets the hang of it, it almost becomes non-existent anymore. He doesn't even feel it. And his body was surprised, but his body's adapting to it. And his power level just shot up from 2,000 at least up to 8,000, and King Kai just saw this. And King Kai is shocked. Now, of course, he would meet up with Goku. Goku would say a joke to make him laugh. He would learn things about King Kai. And once when he does, he instantly knew everything. He knew about the Kais. He knew where they came from. He knew that there's only the Northern Supreme Kai because it was killed by a monster of some kind. He doesn't know who this monster is. King Kai was almost spitting out he spat out his water. How does he know all that? All of a sudden, he then about shits himself because then he realizes, wait a minute. As he says, I need to test something. Come with me. He would then personally take Goku to the Grand Kai, the old man, as he can't get access to the Northern Supreme Kai right now because he's busy. Now the old man would then say, well, I haven't pulled this out in a long time. He would then pull out a special device and it would put it over Goku. He would then put his hand on Goku and use his own power, and he would quickly be shocked and say, if I'm correct, he has the Great Sage ability. King Kai about throws up and he says, that's impossible. We need to speak to the Supreme Kai now. And with the Grand Kai does get access, Goku would then travel to meet the Supreme Kai himself and Kibito. Now they were shocked to see that Immortal was here, and King Kai would then explain that he needs his help. He needs to sense this and see if it is true. And they don't remember much of that. Maybe in the ancient text there might be some. It says, follow me. They would then head into the chambers, and they would see that in the original Kai text, that the original God of Destruction, the first ones for the 18 universes, had the rare ability of the Great Sage made by Zeno himself. And this ability had multiple sub-abilities to increase a user to godlike levels. And it says that this power was pretty much almost completely destroyed. All 17 parts of it were destroyed, except one piece of the Great Sage. This piece was then trapped away by Zeno, and it was able to somehow free itself, it seems, and search for a new host to fuse with. And it must have been Goku. Now, the Supreme Kai doesn't really know what to do with this. He can't really... This is out of his element. And he knows that if he contacts Beerus and Whis in his own head, he knows that if he does, Beerus would just destroy Goku and everything. He can't let this pass up. This is extraordinary. He says, maybe he can train here for the time being. Let him train here, King Kai. You know, we can all help him learn how to utilize this power better, Maybe with this power, the Supreme Kai thinks to himself privately, he might be able to beat Majin Buu with this power, if it's used properly. So Goku begins his training. And the Supreme Kai does note on how powerful Goku is. If he gets strong enough, he might even be able to use the Z-Sword. And that is it for this part 1, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Goku skipped up a few levels. Now he's up with the Supreme Kai. And he will now begin training for the next, I would say about 8 months or so, to train for the Z-Sword. Can Goku remove the Z-Sword and gain access to ultimate power that might help him utilize the Great Sage ability? Our story last ended with Son Goku finishing the training with King Kai. Now, since Goku is much stronger than the original, and with the abilities that he has, with the sub-abilities, he will be able to pretty much take down any foe that is within his way, as he's practically mastered the Kaioken even further. As remember, one of his sub-abilities with the Great Sage that it gives him is the ability to basically learn the most basic abilities. So when Goku learns something very basic, he will be able to master it. And such things as the Kaioken technique. He knows how far he can push Kaioken to its limit, and he knows how to control it perfectly. This also means that Goku doesn't also need to shout out Kaioken as well because of the chant ability as well. So Goku is absurdly OP. So Goku could push Kaioken maybe even further than he originally did. Now Vegeta and Nappa would still arrive just like the original, and they would still rain some chaos on the Earthlings. I think they would still plant the Cybermens, and if the Cybermen still ran around causing some issues, a few instances could happen. As originally, Piccolo dying was the biggest turn for the whole show, because then they had to go to Namek. Well, I still think that Piccolo would die. How would this happen? It's because Goku would arrive on Earth much faster from the other world, because he can fly back at a much faster speed. When he does arrive, Vegeta would notice the high power level of well over 10,000+ heading their way. He would then tell Nappa to hurry up and kill these Earthlings. And I think Nappa would just aim at the closest person he can see, which would be Gohan and the others. Firing a massive beam right at Gohan, Piccolo would still rush in and sacrifice himself. While this happened, Piccolo would then collapse as Goku landed, so Goku arrived at a much faster rate. He arrived hours earlier than the original, but Piccolo would have still died. Now this of course changes the story, as now Piccolo is now killed, but the other Z fighters are all alive. Yamcha's still alive, Tien is still alive, Chaozu is still alive, Krillin and Gohan are still the same, they're okay. So Goku would then see what has happened to his best friend Piccolo, as now they're almost brothers, if you remember, and Goku was fuming. Goku was rage-filled, but then a voice almost speaks to him. As Goku heard it before, he thought it was just himself thinking of things, but it's talking to him. The Great Sage is speaking to Goku. As it didn't speak much to Goku before, only when it was truly needed, dropping some hints here and there, but now it's telling Goku to stay calm and to handle Vegeta and Nappa. So Goku would focus and calm his energy, and he would then challenge Nappa and Vegeta. Now, of course, Nappa would then step up first to charge right in at Goku. But we know how this goes. Goku is far too powerful. He's stronger than he is in the original by far. Nappa cannot land a single hit on Goku. But Goku, still being the Goku we all know, he still offers them a chance to get out of here. But of course, Nappa would not listen, so Nappa continues to try and attack Goku, but to no avail. And Nappa's only getting angrier and angrier. This is when Vegeta would actually call Nappa back, telling him that he'll handle it and for Nappa to stand back, so he does. This is when Nappa would then charge in towards the Z Fighters to then kill them. Now, originally, I think he would still probably try to attack Gohan or Krillin or the others. Now, when they were ready, I think this is when we would see Goku step in. Goku would then do a burst of speed that we've not seen before, as he then glows red. He would then hit Nappa right in the back, crippling the Saiyan and holding him up in the air, throwing him right in front of Vegeta. But now we know that Vegeta would then take Nappa's hand after Nappa begged for help, and Vegeta has no more use for him. So Vegeta would then toss Nappa into the air and completely incinerate him, killing Nappa. With Nappa killed, Goku knows that Vegeta was kind of crazy, but he would then challenge Vegeta as he tells his friends that they need to get out of here, and he would tell Vegeta that we need to go to a different spot away from any animals or wildlife, and Vegeta would then agree. They would then arrive at the rocky wasteland where they would have their infamous standoff. And of course, Vegeta would explain how Saiyans are rated at their power levels at birth and what class they are. Those with low battle powers and are low class are sent to planets such as this. And he would then explain that he is a super elite and the prince of all Saiyans. Goku explains that with enough hard work and training, even the low class can surpass the elite if they trained hard enough. And Vegeta would laugh and say, "That's such a sense of humor that you got. But I will show you that effort alone isn't enough to get on my level." So the two would then charge right at each other. Now, of course, Vegeta could not land a single hit on Goku because of Goku's thought acceleration. Goku was able to think faster by millions of times, thousands of times if you want to lowball it. This would make Goku far too fast. He could instantly predict Vegeta's movements and read his style of fighting. So whatever Vegeta threw at Goku didn't work. Goku was too fast. And Goku would then begin to power up as Vegeta went to his full strength, having a power level of 18,000. Now Goku would begin to power up and he easily surpasses this, as Vegeta's scouter would then beep and go off, as it would shoot past over 20,000 and then explode, as Goku would then charge in, delivering a powerful punch to Vegeta. His moves were perfect, as he just wonders, how can a low-class Saiyan have all this power? This is impossible. He was a low-class. He struggled to beat Raditz. How could he have beaten him? Now Vegeta is getting desperate. I think this is when we would see Vegeta try charging up his Gallic Gun attack, throwing it right towards Goku. But we know that that is futile, as Goku would just charge his own attack, the Kamehameha wave, clashing together. And Goku's beam would easily overwhelm Vegeta's attack and overtake him. Now that Vegeta was high up in space, he would then look around for the moon and see where it is. Piccolo, in my opinion, would still blow up the moon because he saw Gohan transform into a great ape. So the moon is still gone. Vegeta would then land down and tell Kakarot that he's a dead man, as remember, Goku doesn't have his tail. So Vegeta would then throw the fake moon into the air, and he would begin to transform into the monstrous great ape. Now Goku was surprised seeing this, as this is the first time he's seen it in person, not really transforming before. But then he realizes that he's the one that killed his grandpa, and that makes sense, as that was the past thing as well. As Vegeta's power level is now 10 times higher, having a power level of 160 to 180, he's much stronger. Now, Goku, of course, would then power up even higher, at his full strength was over 30,000. This is when Goku would then try to use the Kaioken to his higher abilities, even bumping up to times 3 to times 4 to combat Vegeta. But we know that against the Great Ape Vegeta, times 4 will be able to help him keep up. Goku would then push further to times 5. That would give him a really good edge in speed. As Vegeta is very lumbering in the Great Ape state, it's hard for him to hit anybody. But Goku is small and fast. Goku would then use this, as he knows that he needs to remove Vegeta's tail. As he pauses as thinking during the saying of this, trying to think about how to move his tail quick enough. He then remembers the solar flare technique. He would then fire a ki blast, destroying Vegeta's tail, removing it entirely. Vegeta would then scream in agony as he would then revert back to normal, but he still had fight left in him. He would still try to attack Kakarot, but to no avail, as Goku was a little bit tired. The Kaioken, although he's mastered it, it still damages his body and drains his stamina. Even though he can tap into it a lot better, his body still has a lot of adjusting to it as well. Now, Vegeta, of course, got overwhelmed by Goku. It's a lost cause. No matter what Vegeta did, he could not match him in strength. So Vegeta was then knocked down and defeated. As Yajirobe and the others would then surround Vegeta, they were ready to kill him for what Vegeta and the others have done, but Goku would say no, and they would then let Vegeta go. Now this would shock everybody, but he explains that he's not as bad as everyone may think he is, and he explains that we need to show him mercy. So we would then let him go. Now, with Vegeta now let go, he would then escape into his space pod and he would then take his leave. And then he would then start heading towards Namek. Because remember, they did speak about the Dragon Balls. They could have even spoken about it as well when Piccolo was defeated. Vegeta's scouter heard it. Now, Frieza was then heading his way towards Namek as well, searching for the Dragon Balls. Vegeta would have landed on planet Frieza 79 where he would have recovered, then went right to Namek. Now, during this time, since Goku is not severely wounded by the fight with Vegeta, he was ready to go. So, it took about a week's time. They were able to get a space machine ready, and Goku and the others would then get on the spaceship. Now, who would actually go with Goku? Well, I think it would honestly be Goku, Bulma, Krillin, and Tien. I don't think that Gohan would go. The reason why I say this is because Gohan originally went because Goku couldn't even go at all, and Goku was understanding. But since Goku is technically here, honestly, Goku's all they really need. It could even be Goku, Bulma, and Krillin going, as they wanted to leave Tien behind maybe so Tien can make sure that Earth is safe, since Tien is the strongest other than Goku. So that would be also the smarter thing as well, in case Vegeta ever comes back. So Tien could help everyone else try to get stronger and get training. So it would be Goku, Bulma, and Krillin, the original duo. So they would then all three of them would then head towards planet Namek. Once when they do arrive after a week of training between Goku and Krillin, maybe doing some mental training, as once when they do arrive, Goku would then look around and start scanning power levels. But he would then hear that voice once again. That voice, something was speaking to him, and it was giving him advice, telling him about Frieza, stating that he needs to go combat Frieza. And Goku was surprised as he wonders this voice. It speaks to him strangely. It only appears when he needs help, and that's it. But Goku, of course, would accept this, as also Goku also got a lot stronger as well. As with his analysis, because he defeated Vegeta and Nappa, Goku got stronger. Basically, he gained their powers, abilities, and moves. Now, Goku could do the Gallic Gun. He could do the Fake Moon. But realistically, he doesn't have a tail, so Fake Moon is kind of useless. But of course, Goku has Vegeta and Nappa's power levels added, which is 18,000 plus around 4,000 to 5,000. But Goku technically defeated the Great Ape as well, so his power level could be even higher. Because what makes the analysis so broken in this Dragon Ball storyline is any opponent that Goku can beat or kill, he will gain their power, abilities, and more. So he grows stronger. So since he did technically beat an opponent, aka Vegeta, that had a power level of at least 160,000, with Nappa that's 165,000, Goku's power level is absolutely absurd. If Goku's power level was only a measly 30,000, his power level would have skyrocketed, jumping to well over 195,000. Let's say 200,000 because of training. With the power level of 200,000, he could have a shot at damaging and attacking Frieza. But we would then have Goku, first off, helping Dende. And he would see Frieza, but he doesn't want to fight him just yet. He has to get the Namekian boy out of there. So he would then help Dende escape, and Dende would say to go to Elder Guru. Once going to Elder Guru, he would then read Goku's mind. Elder Guru can also sense that Goku has an incredible power, something that they were not expecting. Now, one thing that I think you guys want to talk about the main part of the what if you made it this far, you're probably wondering what happened during Goku's training, during the other world. Well, we know that Goku trained on King Kai's world, but what's Goku hiding? You see, Goku's power level is not really 30,000. He's been secretly holding something back, as Goku has been trying to practice it for a little while. Well, Goku has been training to remove the Z-Sword. If you guys remember, he's been training with the Kais, as King Kai recognized him. And I know you guys think I forgot about it, but I didn't. I've been saving it the whole time until about the middle part of the what if, as Goku, as you guys can tell, he's been purposely holding back. He's not been going all out. He's been trying to perfect what he's been working on. Well, Goku here has trained for that rough one of a couple of months with the Kais. He was able to learn the Kaioken Spirit Bomb, but he was also able to learn some other things. As Goku, would he be able to learn the Kai ability? Yes, he can, but that's for later on, as he never saw the Supreme Kai do it. Now, one people may ask, why didn't the Supreme Kai just Kai Goku to Earth? Well, realistically, if he did that, it would also break the what if. Well, you could say that the Supreme Kai just Kai Goku to Earth instead of Kami, so it wasn't Kami that did it. Goku just flew towards where Vegeta and the others are. So the Kai is not seen by anybody else because he cannot be seen amongst other mortals. He's still a deity. So Goku was training to try and remove the Z-Sword, as he is getting there, but the Z-Sword just wouldn't budge yet. Goku has so much training left that he needs to do to remove the legendary sword from the stone. Remember, it took Gohan going Super Saiyan, maybe even Super Saiyan 2, who is relative to Cell Saga, late Cell Saga levels of power, to even pull out the sword from the rock. Goku was not there yet. But he trained with the Kais, and he has gotten a lot stronger. But we'll get into his real power level. I did say his power level is 200,000, but it's actually a little bit higher than that, and we'll touch upon that. So, when Goku does meet up with Elder Guru, he senses that Goku has a rare power, but he unlocks Goku's inner potential as well, increasing his strength even higher. And Goku knows that he is more than enough to go fight Frieza now. He knows he can go fight him. So Goku would then head right towards where Frieza is. He would then tell them that they need to go collect the Dragon Balls and make sure everything's okay. Now, Vegeta by this point is already on his demon mode, so Vegeta already has fought Zarbon, Dodoria, and Qui, killing them all. Now, he also removed the Dragon Balls, so they're not all there. Now, he does sense that Kakarot is near and he's worried about him. Frieza would then summon the Ginyu Force, who is crash landing on Namek. Goku would have to stop and handle the Ginyu Force first. So, him and Vegeta would actually tag team the Ginyu Force. Now, Goku doesn't really need any help, but he would then fight Jason Birder while Vegeta would actually fight Raccoon. Since Vegeta got injured by a more powerful version of Goku, Vegeta is actually stronger than the original. His power level is equal to that of Raccoon. And Vegeta was able to beat Raccoon, but it was a blood equal fight. Goku would, of course, just help him by, of course, telling Vegeta to stand back. Now, Goku, of course, remind you, he doesn't have a whole bunch of sensu beans. So, you gotta remember that. So, Vegeta's still pretty badly wounded. He needs, of course, the healing tank or Dende to heal him. Goku would then handle Captain Ginyu. Now, Captain Ginyu would try to change now technique, but it wouldn't work, as Goku would just dodge the attack and defeat the legendary Captain Ginyu. Now, Goku would tell Vegeta that he's going to go battle Frieza himself. Now, Vegeta is far too injured, but he wants to watch this fight no matter what. Now, of course, it'll be Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin and Dende, as Gohan is back on Earth. I wish that Gohan was still here, but no. In reality, it was Goku, Krillin, and Bulma. Bulma would not really be watching. She'd be stuck in the cave terrified, so it was honestly just Gohan, Vegeta, and Dende watching Goku square up to Frieza. Now, since this is the case, Vegeta would have been healed by Dende, who accepts it, and now Goku would then battle Frieza. Now, Frieza, of course, in his first form would then clash with Goku. Now, of course, Goku is holding back, but he's testing the waters. This is how Goku is as a fighter. He doesn't go all out like he does. He holds back purposely. But now, Frieza would then go into his second form, and the fight gets more interesting, two of them clashing back and forth, making tremors across the entire planet. Now, Frieza was impressed by the Saiyan's power. He has spirit, of course, but nothing to him. Now, Goku knows that Frieza is holding back. He wants to see Frieza's full power, and Frieza would give it to him. Frieza would then go, skipping his third form, into his final form. In his final form, he would then clash with Goku once again. Now, Frieza here is a lot more powerful than Goku even anticipated. It was incredible. Goku was having the throw of his life. This is when Goku would then use the Kaioken ability and catch up to Frieza, who's using over 80% of his power, and they're about dead even. But now, of course, Frieza is becoming desperate. Now, Goku doesn't want to use the Spirit Bomb, as that requires a lot of energy. That Krillin and the others would then leave with Vegeta and Dende to then go find the Namekian Dragon Balls. Having all of them together, they would then summon Shenron. Now, Vegeta would selfishly try to make his own wish, but Krillin would speak his out, but nothing happens. Dende would then speak on Krillin's wish, wishing for Piccolo to be brought back to life and brought to Namek. And now that Piccolo is then brought back, Kami was also brought back. Now, this means that, of course, Elder Guru would die, since when Frieza runs up to Shenron begging to have immortality, he then reverts back to stone, as Elder Guru has sadly passed away due to stress or old age. Frieza was so furious, as he would then, out of anger, hit Goku with a powerful push of ki, and out of anger, he would then shoot a beam hitting Krillin right in the chest, and Krillin would then fall over. Now, Goku was in utter shock seeing Krillin, and then Frieza would then fire one at Dende, nearly killing Dende as well. As Vegeta was in shock seeing this, Vegeta was powerless. He didn't really get his full buff Zenkai yet, so he couldn't really go fight Frieza. He was comparative to first form Frieza, but not this power. Goku was so angry. He felt a rage like never before. But something happened. Something was slipping. Something was unlocking in his power, as this calming voice would tell Goku that it will help him unlock it. And Goku just felt the sudden surge in power, not as much rage, as then his hair would then spike up and turn golden, and Goku has now transformed into a Super Sandwich. Or Saiyan? Into a Super Saiyan. Get the meme. Goku as a Super Saiyan is absurdly powerful, way beyond. He's way stronger than he was in the original when he fought Frieza on planet Namek. And one big thing, when he learns the basics of it, you will see how OP Goku is going to become. and it's kind of OP and scary how strong he will. Well, Goku here would easily overwhelm Frieza. Now he's not as rage-filled, so he is more level-headed, but he would not give... Would he give Frieza the time to go for 100%? I think yes. But unfortunately, with the 100%, that's not going to match Goku's power, and Goku would easily overwhelm the mighty Frieza. And Frieza would not have time to destroy planet Namek because Goku would have stopped the attack. Now, this would also mean that he would then also use the Earth Dragon Balls to then wish Elder Guru and the other Namekians back to life that were killed by Frieza. They would then use the final Namekian wish to then wish Krillin back. This would also bring Dende back as well, as remember they wish for all the Namekians, not Earthlings. They then use Porunga to then wish Krillin back to life. So things are all good. Goku would then tell Vegeta and the others to get out of here as he then handles Frieza. Now Frieza's Earth or his Namekian explosion attack does not work with his Death Ball, so he's running out of options, as Goku here would have no more time. He gives Frieza one chance to escape and get out of here. Frieza would of course throw his Death Saucers, which would then end up cutting the Emperor in half. Now we know that Goku here would try sparing him one more time. Frieza just proves it. Goku would then get a voice in his head telling him to kill Frieza. This being will never do good. And he can see something happen. Something just appears. He has visions and something shows him of what Frieza will become in the future if he's still kept alive, that he doesn't change. So Goku would then kill Frieza with his angry Kamehameha. Doing this though, he then gets all of Frieza's abilities and his power, being so much stronger now. With this, he is now stronger than ever as he looks at his hand. But he would then revert back to normal, being tired from the Super Saiyan transformation, as he would then take his leave, heading on over to go see his friends. Now, since the mighty Frieza was now destroyed, Goku and his friends would then head back towards planet Earth, and there was finally peace. Now, what about Trunks? Well, Trunks would still show up from the future timeline, and Goku never went to planet Yardrat. This means that he never learned about instant transmission. But now Trunks would still show up, and he would be kind of confused looking around as to where Goku is. He doesn't see Goku yet, but he would find Goku at his home. He would then talk to Goku privately, explaining about time, the androids, where they're showing up, and more. Now he does want to spar with Goku, showing off Super Saiyan and sparring with Goku very briefly though. Goku wasn't trying. It was just a little test to see if he was trustworthy, and Trunks was. Trunks would then tell him they have 3 years time to train, and he would then take his leave. But now, of course, with 3 years later, Goku would just train with Piccolo, Gohan, and the others. He would help Gohan push his potential even further, because he knows that Gohan has immense power. Now here's the fun part that I think you guys are going to be really excited for. The Android Saga. Goku, would he still get the heart virus? Well, yes and no. So, when Goku shows up to fight Dr. Gero and Android 19, he goes Super Saiyan and he easily overwhelms Android 19. The heart virus does hit him, and it does knock Goku down in base form, and Android 19 would then try to absorb Goku's power. Vegeta would cut in, turning Super Saiyan, killing 19, but Dr. Gero would then escape. While the friends do help Goku up, Goku would then recover, as the voice would say, "Let me heal you," and Goku would have recovered. It saved his life. Now Goku doesn't know why or how, but he feels better now, but he takes some of the heart virus medicine just in case, as he flies full speed back to where Kami's house is to take the medicine just in case it flares up again. And Chi-Chi forces him to stay at the house no matter what. So 17 and 18 are still brought out. They kill Dr. Gero, bring out 16. They still defeat Vegeta and the other Z fighters. They have no chance. Now they go off to go do their own thing. This is when Piccolo would then go fuse with Kami, becoming whole again, and he would go fight 17 and push 17 a lot better than he did before because he's a lot more powerful. Unfortunately, Cell is still prowling around. Now by this point, Goku does feel a lot better. Unfortunately, it's too late as Cell has now achieved his second form. Now Vegeta originally went to go train in the Spirit in time for the next 24 hours, as Cell was trying to find 18 and 16, but to no avail. Now, this is when I think Goku would show up, going to go fight Cell head on. As with Cell there, Goku would then smirk as he challenges Cell outright, who was confident that he might be able to beat Goku. Goku would then turn to Super Saiyan, and he explains to Cell that when he unlocked the power of the Super Saiyan and he learned the basics of it, he was flooded with knowledge of the form. He mastered the power of the Super Saiyan and has been able to evolve it even further beyond. As Goku would then show Cell what he means, Goku would begin to transform, going into Super Saiyan 2. As Cell was shocked seeing Goku transform, his power already eclipsing Cell, Goku explains, but this, I'm not even done yet. This is even further. As he would then charge his energy, his hair would then grow longer, as he would then transform into a Super Saiyan 3. Now Piccolo and everybody else is shocked as well. Goku's never actually transformed into it before, and Goku says, this is my first time transforming into these, I just know that I can do it. How far can I push this power that I have? How far can Goku push the Great Sage ability? And he's using it to its full strength. As Goku would then push even further to the Super Saiyan's limit and transform into a Super Saiyan 4. Which I know sounds ridiculous. Which is beyond overkill. It's like, what if Goku was super extra prepared because he is? He's pushing this Great Sage ability to its maximum. And with this, Goku has now achieved the ultimate Super Saiyan transformation. And he would then challenge Cell. Now, of course, we know how this would go. Goku absolutely annihilates Cell. A single punch to Cell's stomach makes him spit out 17 as well, reverting him back to first form Cell. Goku would not spare Cell any mercy because he knows how dangerous he is. He would then charge a Kamehameha wave, hitting Cell and completely obliterating him, thus saving the androids, who would never attack Goku now, he's too strong. Vegeta was so angry that he challenges Kakarot outright, even in his ascended Super Saiyan form. He would then charge up a final flash, hitting Goku with everything that he had, because it's Vegeta. He wants to fight Kakarot. Even in this legendary Super Saiyan 4 or whatever, he didn't care. Vegeta would try. But Goku would just stand there like nothing happened after the final flash. Not even a scratch. Not even any dust. It bounced off him like it was nothing. And Vegeta, I think, would accept defeat, as there's no way. But he asked Kakarot to try and teach him how to unlock these forms. If Kakarot can do it, then he can try and do it. And that is it for part 2, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below about Goku unlocking this, as this does make sense. And I told you, he's going to get very OP, and it makes sense. The Super Saiyan is an ability, and Goku had to train and figure out ways to push and evolve the form because of this ability to be able to use the analysis as soon as he learns this ability, and especially with the all of creation ability, as once learning something basic, you are able to comprehend anything and more, such as learning the basic of Super Saiyan. Goku now knows everything about it and how to access the further stages, so he just pushed it as far as he could go. And Super Saiyan 4 is the limit that we have seen in the canonical Dragon Ball series. And we'll worry about the God forms later. Our story last ended with Son Goku absolutely annihilating second form Cell. With Goku's analytical power, he was able to use analysis ability, which is a part of the Great Sage power. And with that, he was able to evolve his Super Saiyan power to levels that's never been seen before. With ease, like it was natural to him. He mastered it. This version of Goku was able to unlock Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, and 4 simultaneously, as now he has a basic understanding of what Super Saiyan is. Now he's fully knows everything about it, which means they're mastered, so he can access the forms instantly, and they have no ki draining on his body, no stamina issues. They are a perfected form. So 7 years of peace would still transpire. Goten will still be born, Trunks is still there, that all goes the same. The only difference here is Goku's not dead. He did not sacrifice himself like he did in the original. So this would of course change up the story since Goku is now alive. This also means that Goku would never learn about the fusion dance technique, and he would never have gone to the other world and met the other Kais. But if you remember, he already met the Supreme Kai and the Grand Kai as well, the old man. Not Elder Kai, the different one. And he's also met Kibito, King Kai, and the Supreme Kai, the one that we know, Shin. I feel like during the 7 years, Shin would return, and Shin would want to train Goku again. Now, some of the people who got confused with the last part, Goku did train with Shin and them during around the Saiyan saga, but he couldn't pull out the Z-Sword because he wasn't strong enough yet. But now since Goku, they sense his power. When he turned Super Saiyan 4, they sensed it across the entire universe. Even a certain purple cat was starting to stir awake a little bit because he felt it. Well, they think that he might have the power to pull with the Z-Sword, and that's what Goku would go do. So for the majority of the 7 years, Goku would actually be training with the Kais. He would be training with the Supreme Kai, and with this, he would actually learn his abilities, as Goku would have fought him at least once or twice and defeated him. As you know, with the analytical subpower, he will be able to see a user's power, race, and abilities by seeing them. And he can even beat the Supreme Kai. He only needs to beat them, not kill them, or vice versa. And that means he can gain their powers, abilities, and moves, which is absolutely broken. So no matter what, he can completely figure you out. So this version of Goku does have a version of instant transmission, aka the Kai Kai ability, meaning that he can transfer anywhere that he wants to instantly as long as he knows the location of it, such as Earth, Bulma's place, the Kai world, King Kai's. He can go anywhere instantaneously, which is an OP ability. Now, we don't know if this expands further out across the universe, which I definitely think it does, because the Supreme Kai is able to Kai Kai to Beerus' world, but he's even able to Kai Kai all the way to Zeno's world, which sits outside of the 12 universes. So I definitely think that while it may not be permitted for them to use it, they can Kai Kai to other universes if they want to. And that's what they have, as angels do travel with the staff, which does take longer, but Kais have that ability. The reason why Kais also have this ability is so they can get out of danger fast, as in case they die, God of Destruction dies. So if for some reason a foe was so powerful that could overwhelm a Kai, they could flee away, and they'll be safe. But now, during those 7 years, Goku would easily be able to pull out the Z-Sword very early on, using his Super Saiyan, even 1 to 2, maybe even Super Saiyan 3, he was able to pull out the Z-Sword. And with this, he now had the Z-Sword of power. Now, originally we thought that the Kai thought that the power was in the sword. So when you had it, you had infinite power. It's not necessarily true. Goku doesn't feel any stronger, but he does kind of feel like there is a presence in the sword, if that makes sense. But he kind of throws it aside. So it is very heavy, but with some training, he's able to use the sword no issue. So Goku decides to test the sword out. Why don't we cut the strongest material in the universe, Ketchin? So when he tries cutting it, the sword breaks. But shocking everybody, we would then see an elderly man. Now, we don't know who this elderly man is, but he then makes himself known. His name is the Elder Kai. He's an ancient Kai from millions of years ago, over 100 million years ago, as a certain being trapped him within the sword a long time ago, technically because he beat him at a game, and he trapped him away, just because he's petty. Poor King Kai. But this is when he would then look to Goku and kind of look him up and down. He says that your power is extraordinary. You were able to remove the Z-Sword, break it, and how strong are you? Goku would then go Super Saiyan 4, showing how strong he was, and Elder Kai was amazed by Goku's strength. But he senses something else in Goku. He tells Goku to sit down with him as he begins chanting and doing some sort of ritual. Not to unlock his potential, but to see what he has. This is when the Elder Kai's eyes would then close. When he opens them, he's in a pure dark abyss. He then sees the light, and to his shock, it's the great sage that was created. This completely shocks him as he snaps back to reality, gasping. He explains that you have the great sage? That is impossible. Now the Supreme Kai did know about it, but he knows very little about it. They keep it kind of under wraps. And Elder Kai explains what the Great Sage is. He explains that Zeno created this, or maybe even a higher power, Ramirez, They made this power to then give to gods of destructions, angels, and even Kais. It gave them the ability to where they have sub-abilities, and it was just too powerful. It was an ability that would make them have thought acceleration, analytical appraisal, all of creation, analysis, chant, enamment. This ability would make them stronger than ever, and if correctly mastered, could rival or surpass the power of Zalama, who is the creator of the Super Dragon Balls. And that power rivals Zeno, or even more. It's the power of the dragon. And if you are able to utilize its true power, being a perfect match for it, you will become an omnipotent being. Now, of course, Elder Kai is concerned because he says, but Zeno sealed that power away a long time ago. Even Ramirez did. They did it because the gods of destruction, the original 18, the first ones ever, were too powerful. They're too strong. And they were forcibly removed when Zeno destroyed the 6 universes. Those 6 universes were the ones who were abusing the power. It got to their head. The other 12 gave up the power to Zeno willingly. And Zeno only kept it for angels and higher because they are all neutral. So he wonders, as he paused for that short thought, how does a mortal have that power? And he says, it's simple. That power must have chose you on purpose. It doesn't just go to a host, but how did it escape its entrapment? It's incredible. And he says that it chose you for a reason. You're special, and it has something that it wants with you. That's the reason why it's been guiding you. It's been making you stronger than any mortal should be. Your power can rival that of Lord Beerus soon if you combat him. Anything that you face, it will make you surpass. This power is unrivaled. It's omnipotent. And it's only held down to the user himself to utilize its true abilities. Elder Kai then paused once again as he was in deep thought, explaining to Goku that, but you seem to be controlling this power incredibly well. You're perfectly compatible. And he says, well, there's nothing else to really be done. If the other gods find out about it, and if the Grand Priest and Zeno find out about it, we could be erased, or worse. He says, we need to keep this on the DL for the time being. But he then looks to Goku and explains that your Super Saiyan 4 power is incredible. That is your potential unlocked. So I can't really unlock your potential since the Great Sage has already done that for you, which is incredible that it was able to. So Goku would then head back towards Earth, as then the 7 years would then have passed fully. Everybody would have still met up for the World Martial Arts Tournament. Now, the Supreme Kai has already told Goku about Majin Buu before. He's already told him about Majin Buu. The concern, Goku really wants to fight Majin Buu. He wants to, because he heard that Majin Buu is the most powerful being in the universe. He thinks that Goku could definitely beat him, but he's just an uncontrollable evil. And Goku really wants to fight him. So Goku would then, as the time finally came, the Supreme Kai explained that, well, we don't know where his ship is, but if we let his men absorb somebody here in their power, we could track them all the way back to his ship. We can defeat Majin Buu and keep him sealed away. Goku secretly wants to fight Majin Buu fully, but of course, we would then have Spopovich and Yamu still show up. Now, Gohan here, he's still gone to high school, and this version of Gohan is not as much of a slouch because Goku wasn't around to train with him. Since Goku's around more, Gohan is not as weak as we originally thought. He could even be stronger, because you never know that during those 7 years, Goku might need help unlocking Gohan's potential. He could even give his power to the Elder Kai, which I think could happen. As Goku needs help unlocking his potential, he brings Gohan to where the Elder Kai is, and Elder Kai sees that Gohan has immense potential. So he agrees to help Gohan unlock it. So Gohan does have potential unleashed by the time that he meets up with Kibito Kai. Now, Gohan's already met Kibito Kai, but Kibito Kai wants to see Gohan's true power. Now, again, Supreme Kai knows that Gohan will have his power taken. Goku knows it as well. So Gohan would have transformed into his mystic form, in my opinion, being stronger than he was in the original and having his energy taken. They would then follow Spopovich and Yamu all the way to Babidi's ship. Now, when they do arrive, this is where some events are going to change. Vegeta has kind of accepted the fact that Kakarot has surpassed him, as he was able to unlock Super Saiyan 2, and we'll get into his other forms later on. But Vegeta understands that Kakarot is superior to him, but he doesn't want to be in the number one spot for long. He will do his very best to try and beat Kakarot and become the strongest Saiyan, as usual, because that's his motivation. But now, they would then go into Babidi's ship, as Popovich and Yamu would then kill by Babidi, as Babidi begins transferring all this power into Majin Buu, but it will take some time. So, he would then send Pui Pui and Yakan to go after Goku and the others. Vegeta one-shots Pui Pui just like before. Goku just powers up a little bit and overwhelms Yakan and kills him. This is when Dabura would then be sent out. Now, Dabura, unfortunately for the crew, it's not going to go very well. Dabura would have been easily killed by Vegeta or by Goku or Gohan. Even Gohan is stronger than the original, already having his potential unleashed form, so what's Dabura going to do? He can't match their power. Now, one thing to note as well is, would Babidi try taking over Vegeta's mind? Yes, I think so. May not work, but he will try to distract them long enough. And would Vegeta accept the mind control? I don't think so. And the reason why I say this is because Vegeta has already fought Kakarot numerous times, and he's lost every time. He has put up a good fight, but he's lost every time. He just cannot best Kakarot. Kakarot's too strong, and he's accepted that. So he's not having like a midlife crisis moment to where he kind of was like that, and that's why he allowed himself to be taken over by the Majin power. That wouldn't have happened here. So no, I don't think the Majin control would have worked. So no Majin Vegeta. He would have rejected the power, been even more angry, and then I think he would have killed Dabura in rage. As now Babidi's panicking, but Majin Buu was ready. The egg would then hatch, Majin Buu was born, but it was Fat Buu like we all know. Now Goku would then step up to go fight Fat Buu, and Goku was easily overwhelming him as a Super Saiyan 2, as he wasn't really trying yet either. Now Goku again was learning about his abilities and more. Fat Buu, he was a strange creature, but it was incredible. Goku was absolutely annihilating him, but he decides to spare Buu because he doesn't want to kill him. Buu just seems innocent. Innocent, but bad. He just doesn't really know any better, and he's not really all evil. So he decides to spare Fat Buu for now, and they killed off Babidi and destroyed his ship. Now, Fat Buu would still go on his adventure, or he would still go around, and he would then meet Mr. Satan himself, the world champ, who heard that his town has spoke of rumors of a pink monster who turned somebody into candy and made a house out of it, but who also cured a blind kid. So he's interested. And so he would then go there to go destroy this monster, of course, to make his fame even higher than it already was. But now, once he does arrive, he tries everything. Guns, bombs, explosives, poison. Doesn't work. Buu just laughs it off. He thinks Mr. Satan's playing with him. And they would actually develop a friendship, and they become good friends. But unfortunately, we know that assassins arrived, hitmen who would basically shoot Mr. Satan and be the dog trying to get to Buu. Buu would then snap and split apart, making evil Buu, who after Buu would heal Mr. Satan and he would then fight the evil Buu. But unfortunately, evil Buu was too powerful. He overwhelmed Fat Buu, reverting his own candy beam on himself and then turning Fat Buu into candy. He would then eat him, turning into Super Buu. As Super Buu wants to fight Goku. He wants a rematch. And so, Goku would have then flown up and met Super Buu. Super Buu knows that Goku is not his full strength, but he wants to see it. He tells him to go all out, and Goku would do that. Now, Goku's not an idiot. He knows that Buu is up to something, but he keeps his guard up. He would then transform into a Super Saiyan 3 for the time being, and overwhelm Super Buu, and overwhelm him pretty easily. But Super Buu wants to see his true power, so Goku would then give him the honor and go Super Saiyan 4, absolutely slapping around Super Buu like he's nothing. But Goku knows that something is up. Super Buu's acting strange. Super Buu is waiting for him. And waiting for somebody else. As he would then look to Gohan and say, I want to fight him instead. And Goku would actually kind of accept it because Goku thinks that Gohan should step up and try fighting. So Gohan would. Gohan would then go Mystic and he fights Super Buu, overwhelming him as well as he's stronger than that. And of course, what we saw, Super Buu, that was his plan all along. He tricked everybody. He then absorbed Gohan, shocking Goku and the others as he then becomes Buuhan. Now with Buuhan, his power is stronger than that of the original Buuhan because he's fighting a stronger version of Gohan. He's absorbing him and now he's stronger than ever, even without having Gotenks or Piccolo inside of him. Now, Goku would then go back into Super Saiyan 4 and the fight would then commence. Now Goku would seemingly be overwhelmed as Vegeta was sweating a little bit, but he didn't say nothing, as Dende, Kai, and the others were basically shitting themselves, terrified that if Goku loses, then they're in trouble. But this is when Goku would then smirk at Buuhan and explain that your punches don't even hurt. As Goku would then charge up to his full power in his Super Saiyan 4 state, that would actually begin to awaken a certain cat far away. As Buu was absolutely shocked, he's been hiding this much power? As he paused before saying this much power, as his mouth was wide open in shock. Goku was holding back, not even using 1% of his true power. He's been holding back the whole time. Now that Goku's at full strength, he absolutely annihilates Buuhan in their matchup, but he doesn't want to kill him. He wants to make him desperate again, to absorb him. So he pulls a Vegito, messing with him, even being turned to candy, he overwhelms him, and more. But Buu would then get desperate enough and try to absorb Goku. When Goku allows himself to be absorbed, he covers himself in a ki barrier. Now Buu laughs in victory as he thinks that he's won. Once he absorbs Goku, he becomes the most powerful being in existence. But nothing happens yet, he doesn't feel any different. As then, Goku would then travel through Buu's body. As a Super Saiyan 4 still, he would then see Gohan, Majin Buu right there. Now, he would then free Gohan, weakening him, as he would try attacking Goku in his own mind, but it doesn't work. Goku would then try to free Fat Buu, but Super Buu, he begins to beg Goku, begging him to not do it or else he won't become him anymore. But then Goku pulls it out anyway, and Buu would then revert to nothingness. As he begins to change, Goku would then get free, escape one of Buu's little holes that he has, and he would finally escape. As Buu begins to emit steam everywhere, he begins to shrink down in size, and he then reverted to Kid Buu. Now Kid Buu, he would then charge right at Goku and the fight would continue on, but Kid Buu is weaker than even Super Buu was, but he is more ferocious. But Goku knows he has to be rid of him. Goku wishes that he could have stayed around and maybe they'll fight again one day, but he would then fire his own massive ki blast, his own Kamehameha, completely incinerating Kid Buu. Thus, you know what this means. He also gains their powers, abilities, and moves. Meaning that since he technically killed Kid Buu, he does have his powers and abilities. So after he killed Buu, Goku would then see the pink lights of Buu's body begin glowing, and then it would go into Goku's body, as then Goku feels a little different. Goku can then extend his hand several feet before bringing it back to himself. He can stretch his limbs, and it's pretty durable now. A severe wound to him, as he saw, he instantly healed. Any wounds that he had was gone. As he wonders, he kind of thinks about it, but okay. And he would then look towards a rock, and he would turn it into a sushi roll, which he would then eat. As he then has Buu's magical beams. He now has magical properties, which is incredible to him. But he would then revert back to normal, and everybody was happy to see him. That's all okay, happy thoughts. Now, some people ask, well, what did Goku get from Frieza then, since he technically killed Frieza? Well, he did get Frieza's potential, which is why he got so strong. He also got Frieza's ability to breathe in space, and more of his durability, so that's why Goku can now travel in space, no issue, it's fine. Now with Kid Buu, the similar thing, except he has the stretchy abilities, Majin Power, turn things into candy, and immortality, so Goku cannot die now. His Majin Buu can live forever, so there's that. But now, of course, since Fat Buu was freed, they decide to spare Fat Buu since he's all good now and there's no itch of evil inside of him. Everybody was back towards peace. Now, Lord Beerus would have still awakened a few years later. Now, before we jump into Lord Beerus, what about Daima? Well, for Dragon Ball Daima, it would kind of be one-sided. Goku already has Super Saiyan 4. Not to mention, that version of Goku is so much stronger than the original, it's complete overkill. And with the Majin abilities adding on top of that, Goku would absolutely annihilate Goma in their matchup. Now, one thing that would happen is when Goku defeats Goma, knocking the third eye off of him, when Goku grabs it, this third demon eye, it would then go to Goku's head. Goku would then see that he now has a third eye. Kind of like Tien in a way. And his power skyrockets, even higher than ever. And it would then go back inside of his skull, as then you don't see it no more, so it doesn't look all crazy. But now Goku has absorbed the power of Goma and the abilities of the third eye as well. So Goku is now way stronger than before, which is literally absurd with how strong Goku actually is. So now that Goku now has the third eye, it's ridiculous with how powerful he's going to be to basically go fight Beerus. So with that being said, what would happen during the Beerus arc? Well, with the Beerus arc, Beerus was still awakened just like the original. And also, by the way, with the third eye, I know that also if Goku's hit in the back of the head 3 times, it would then pop out the third eye. And would it also make him evil? No, it realistically won't make him evil. And it does grant him immortality pretty much. So either way, that's the only downside with the third eye. So the third eye, if he gets hit in the back of the head 3 times, he then reverts back. But we're going to say that that doesn't happen because it's perfected and it's mastered. So Goku now has immortality on top of immortality. He's just got a big power up from the third eye. But now with Lord Beerus, he was still awakened, having dreams of a being that could challenge his power, God. He would still go to Earth and meet up with Goku and the others, celebrating Bulma's 38th birthday party, where he would challenge Goku outright. He notices that Goku's power feels different. There's something about him. It's like he's an accumulation of tons of abilities and powers balled into one perfect warrior. He would then challenge Goku. Goku would then go Super Saiyan. Doesn't really affect Beerus too much. Now, Beerus is impressed, though. He's very powerful for a mortal. Super Saiyan 2 does knock Beerus back a little bit, but he doesn't have God Ki, so he's struggling. Super Saiyan 3, then Super Saiyan 4 is where things spice up a little bit. He's actually able to fight Beerus pretty well. This version of Goku is stronger than he was as a Super Saiyan God, easily. But he doesn't have God Ki, which makes it hard for him to track Beerus. Now, one thing to note is when he's fighting Beerus, Beerus would then fire a Hakai ability at Goku. Goku would dodge the attack barely, and he would then look to his hands as something was happening again. Goku would then revert back to normal as his hair would then turn red. Goku has absorbed the God energy that Beerus has put out, and with that, he has grown stronger. Because any Ki blast that Beerus threw at Goku, he would deflect and absorb. Goku has now fought Beerus, and he's now adapted, thus becoming a Super Saiyan God. Way surpassing that of Super Saiyan 4, and he's starting to learn the basics of it, which is going to be absolutely stupid in a few minutes. So when he goes to continue fighting Beerus, who's shocked to see that Goku does have God energy, Goku's able to fight Beerus pretty well, but Beerus is still holding back. But Goku's power is rising non-stop, and this power is not disappearing like with the Saiyan God ritual. It's almost like the Great Sage is just continuing to grow Goku's power. Now, with the thought acceleration, Goku's dodging like he has Ultra Instinct, which Whis finds interesting. But Goku is continuing to grow in strength, as he's starting to reach new heights. When Beerus then gets desperate, he fires a Hakai at Goku, who grabs the Hakai. He struggles to contain it, but he gets a basic understanding of it. And you know what that means. The Great Sage would then glow a light, and Goku understands it all. He would then smirk at Lord Beerus, explain that he understands how that God of Destruction stuff works now. And Beerus laughs, stating, it'll take you millions of years to even learn an ability like that. And you need to be a destroyer. to then harness the power. This is when Goku would then transform again. Goku would have the God of Destruction energy surround him, and he would then have the 3 diamonds shaped on his chest, and Goku has now transformed into a God of Destruction mode, which all Gods of Destruction can go into if they want to. We saw Toppo do it, but they decide not to. They kind of fight on their own. Beerus was shocked, and Goku has a mastery of God of Destruction energy even better than he does. Not in experience, but, well, kind of experience too. He then begins to overwhelm Beerus in their matchup, forcing Beerus to go into his own God of Destruction form, bulking in size, looking a bit more meaner, and the two would continue going at it. Whis would then form a sphere around them as two gods fighting to destroy everything to keep everything protected. The problem is that every ability that Beerus used on Goku, Goku has perfected. He's only getting stronger and stronger and stronger the more he's fighting Beerus. Goku would finally beat Beerus in their matchup, knocking him out. But then Goku would then get a rush of God of Destruction energy swarming in his body. As he defeated Beerus, he then gains his powers, abilities, and more. He gains Beerus' power, basically becoming one of the most strongest beings in all the universes, one of the strongest gods of destruction easily. And Whis was watching with pure amazement, and his thought was right. Goku has the great sage. He needs to tell his father and Zeno about this immediately. But Beerus was defeated. Whis would then congratulate Goku on what he did. He would then explain that, well, I'm going to take Beerus back home, whichever one to become a god of destruction. Goku says no, he's not interested. And so, Whis would then take his leave, as he doesn't want to push Goku any further. Now, everybody else was completely shocked with what happened, with how strong Goku got. Vegeta was so fuming. But as the months would then pass, Beerus would have awoken from a nap, and he was angry that he lost, but it kind of excited him. Now, Whis would still go to Earth, just like the original, as he still likes the Earth food. During that time, Vegeta does trick, basically trying to force Whis to bring him to Beerus' world, where he starts training to try and catch up to Kakarot, and Vegeta's pushing himself harder than ever. And with Whis focusing on Vegeta, there's a lot more time where Vegeta is able to grow stronger on his own. Now, Whis would then ask his father to then host a meeting with him privately. He would then fly to where the Grand Priest is, and they would talk. He would explain everything about the Great Sage, which would shock the Grand Priest and make him nervous because a mortal having that is dangerous. He then explains that we need to speak to Zeno about this. Zeno's response is, oh, that's awesome. Goku's super strong. That's really cool. Zeno has no care about it. And Zeno explains that, well, let him have it. It's fine. Because Zeno can see the past, present, and future. He knows that Goku never uses it for evil. He never uses it to break the balance of the universe. He's just a good person. So Zeno lets it happen. He allows it. So most of the events of Dragon Ball Super would go kind of similar. Goku would still fight in the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament, absolutely annihilating Hit in their matchup. Hit has no chance. When he beats Hit, Goku now can use the time skip ability, thus using it and mastering it. Meaning that Goku is so strong now that he can freeze time. So, and I know it is tied to his power, to where Gods of Destruction will be frozen in place and he can jump dimensions of time and kind of overwhelm him. Now, what about the Goku Black arc? As for the Golden Frieza arc, you can say that does still happen. We would let Vegeta have that arc, to where Vegeta would fight Frieza on his own, unlocking Super Saiyan Blue, of course, battling Frieza and defeating him in their fight. That would go for all to Vegeta. Then the Universe 6 and 7 arc would go to Goku. Then we would have the Goku Black arc. Well, this version of Goku Black would be the same as the original. And when Goku goes to fight them, he would just Hakai Zamasu and kill him. But the one difference is Zamasu got his wish because of the Super Dragon Balls. So Zamasu, when Goku Hakai's him, just becomes the whole universe because he can't be destroyed fully. And Goku would still have the Zeno button, meeting Zeno already, being good friends with him. As for Goku Black, he would have been killed. And even if they did fuse into merge Zamasu, he would have Hakai'd them, and that would then make Zamasu surround the whole universe. Zeno would have erased Trunks' timeline, thus they would have to brought Trunks to another copy version of the timeline. Now, since that's done for the Goku Black arc, it would just be a one-sided victory for them. Goku Black and them have zero chance of matching Goku's strength. They might even know about a mortal who surpassed the God of Destruction. Goku Black might not even want to fight because he knows how strong Goku is. maybe try to take him out of timelines. But past that, we would then have the Tournament of Power. Now, with the Tournament of Power would be really interesting because Beerus is so cocky that he would win because they got Goku. Now, the Gods of Destruction are nervous because they kept it really tight-lipped about Goku's Great Sage ability, not wanting Gods of Destruction to be worrisome about it. As the only God of Destruction who actually has knowledge of the Great Sage is actually Belmont. Belmont is actually the oldest God of Destruction from what we know, and he's planning on retiring soon as he's super old. He's 200 to plus 500 million years old. He's super old. And so he's decided, well, he doesn't really notice it yet. But when Goku goes inside the Tournament of Power, he absolutely annihilates everybody. Kefla has no chance. The only person who could push Goku pretty well was Jiren. And Jiren's strength is absurd. Now, Goku would then, of course, use the power of God Destruction. And I think during this time, because by this point, he would have also fought Whis. And by fighting Whis, I mean he would have fought and challenged and sparred with Whis. And I think he would have adapted to what Whis had. This means that Goku is starting to have a basic understanding of Ultra Instinct. Now, when he fights Jiren, he gets the breakthrough that he needed. And when Jiren uses his limit breaker, he breaks Goku's limits. Goku would then revert back to base, and he would then transform into Ultra Instinct. Now, since he is immortal, using Ultra Instinct is classed as a form. But Goku's perfected it, as he's in normal-looking Ultra Instinct, having no silver hair, no anything. He just has the eyes and the aura. He's completely mastered the power. So far mastered it to where he can add it to forms. He can just have it in base power if he wants. Just his eyes go silver when he uses it. And he absolutely annihilates Jiren within a few shots, knocking him out of the ring. Now, past that event, would they also bring Frieza along to get their group? I would say yes. I know. I just paused for the big break for everybody to say why. Well, the reason why is because Goku would still want somebody super strong, and Frieza was, of course, a part of that, to help them out fight against the other universes in case something happens to him. You never know. You never know. Now, they might not be needed, but he says that Frieza will only be brought back for 24 hours, and he'll be sent away, so it's fine. Now, Beerus would, of course, still revive Frieza as a thank you gift for what Frieza did helping them out. Now, since that is the case, Frieza's still doing his thing. I think he would still find Broly, send him after Goku and Vegeta. We know how that goes. Broly would have been defeated by Goku himself. And Goku defeating Broly, he would then also absorb Broly's power. On top of that, he also absorbed Jiren's power as well, and Kefla and the others. So yeah, Goku was getting just beyond OP. At that point, he's probably the most powerful. He's stronger than all the Gods of Destruction at that point. And this is when the Grand Prix starts getting worried about Goku, but he lets it go. As now, the Broly movie would have still happened, but Goku would have helped Broly and not kill him, and Frieza would have then left on his own. Now, the events of the Moro arc, when it did happen, Goku would have killed Moro pretty easily, because he can just Hakai Moro, and Moro was completely incinerated. He would have been died, because Goku's so much stronger than him already. Now, because of this, Goku also absorbed his magical abilities to eat energy and absorb planets as well, becoming stronger. So Goku can just eat your energy and get stronger, which is absurd. And also absorb people as well, which is broken. And he would then also train with Beerus as well and defeat Beerus in their matchup. Which I know sounds crazy, but Beerus is not at his full power, nor can he use his full strength. But Goku, when he beats him, he learns more things about the Angel's abilities and more. Now, past this point, Goku is literally the most powerful mortal that we've ever seen. The Great Sage is doing what it does. Now, when Goku goes to fight Granola and Gas and the others. Now, one thing that I think would happen here is Granola, Gas, and the arc would still happen, but Goku easily wins. But when Frieza shows up, he's a bit different than the Frieza that you guys may know. See, Frieza did find that version of the Dragon Balls. He also did train in the Room of Spirit and Time to get stronger. When he found those versions of Dragon Balls, Frieza then made his own wish. He wished for a device that can jump across universes. Frieza would then collect the Super Dragon Balls himself. But wait, how would he be able to know the language of it? Well, There are a few options. Number one, Frieza could figure out how to speak the language. It's just English backwards. And Frieza's not an idiot. He would then try it out because he heard the Grand Prix speak it before. And he understands that it's just English backwards. It's actually what it really is. So he speaks English backwards, and he then got his one wish that he wanted. Power. He wanted to become the most powerful being ever. The power to even beat Goku and more. Frieza was so strong in his power that when he fights Goku and his friends, no one can match his power. As the balance of all the universes are then torn apart. Frieza is so strong, he's a nearly omnipotent being, that even Zeno is having trouble with Frieza, because Zeno's not a fighter. The Grand Priest even lost to Frieza after an intense battle. He lost. Frieza is now just too OP, and he uses this by absolutely annihilating Goku. Even in Goku's full power, after everything, it just does not work. Goku was overwhelmed. Goku would then float there in the far reaches of space between all the universes as Frieza was toying with everybody else. Goku would then meet the Great Sage in the Abyss. Great Sage would then tell Goku to merge with it fully and allow it to use its full power. Goku can handle it now. And Goku would then grab the light in his hands. As it then bonds with Goku fully, Goku would then become something new. Goku was the literal embodiment of a dragon. His hair was angelic. He had the Super Dragon Balls in his body, aka around his chest, and he was using the power of the dragon to then attack Frieza. Goku was a literal energy dragon, a being so powerful that Zeno was even scared of it. As he would overwhelm Frieza, he would then kill Frieza by hitting him with every bit of energy that he had, and Frieza would then absorb all that energy. But it was too much, and Frieza would have blown up, being incinerated. Goku would then raise his hands as he would then fix the universes as well, with the help of Zeno, bringing things back to what they once were. As once when all the stuff cleared, Goku would finally be with his friends and family, having a nice dinner, enjoying peace. And that is it for this finale, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think down below about the series. Make sure to stay on the lookout for the post to then post your new what if ideas, and make sure to go vote as well. Make sure to also check out my Discord. We're trying to get to 500 members. But anyway, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. Let's get to 50,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.